The chill of the northern winds howled through the ancient forests beyond the wall, where a small patrol of the Night's Watch ventured into the ominous woods. There, they encountered a horror unlike any they had ever known, bodies mutilated and scattered in unnatural patterns. As they pressed on, they came face to face with a being shrouded in ice, its blue eyes glowing with an eerie light. It moved with deadly grace, dispatching two of the men effortlessly. The sole survivor, pale and trembling, fled south, seeking escape from the terror he had just witnessed. In the heart of the north, nestled among the snow-covered hills, stood Winterfell, the ancient seat of House Stark. Here, the great and noble family ruled over the northern lands. Lord Eddard Ned Stark, a man of honor and duty, gathered his sons, Robb, Jon, and young Bran, to witness the execution of the deserter from the Night's Watch. The man spoke of creatures with glowing blue eyes, but Ned dismissed it as fear-driven madness. The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword, he taught his sons, his voice steady as the blade fell. Returning to Winterfell, the Stark family stumbled upon a grim scene. A dead direwolf, a rare creature not seen south of the wall for generations, lay in the snow, its body pierced by an antler. 5 pups huddled against the mother's cold corpse, too young to fend for themselves. Ned ordered them to be left behind, but Jon, the Stark's illegitimate son, pointed out there were 5 pups, one for each Stark child, with a 6th albino pup, small and white, just like Jon himself. With Ned's reluctant approval, each Stark took a pup, a silent bond forming between the children and the creatures that would grow to protect them. The next day, a cavalcade rode through the gates of Winterfell, heralding the arrival of King Robert Baratheon and his royal court. Robert, a mountain of a man whose once great physique had given way to the indulgence of drink and food, greeted his old friend Ned with a bear-like embrace. "I need you, Ned," he said, his voice tinged with desperation. "I can trust no one else. The realm is falling apart." He had come to ask Ned to be the new hand of the king, a position of great power but even greater peril. While the Stark family prepared to host their royal guests, other shadows moved through the castle's ancient halls. Queen Cersei Lannister, with her golden hair and cold gaze, whispered to her brother Jaime, the infamous Kingslayer. The bond between the two siblings ran deeper than blood, their intimacy a dangerous secret that could bring ruin upon their house. "We must be careful," Jaime murmured, a glint of danger in his eyes. "If anyone finds out." Amidst the grand feasting and preparations, Jon Snow found himself alone, always reminded of his bastardy. It was Tyrion Lannister, the witty and sharp-tongued dwarf, who spoke to Jon with a mix of honesty and cynicism. "All dwarfs are bastards in their father's eyes," Tyrion said, advising Jon to wear his identity like armor, so it could never be used to hurt him. Far away, across the narrow sea, a different story unfolded. In the sun-baked lands of Essos, Daenerys Targaryen stood before a mirror as her brother Viserys, the last male heir of the fallen Targaryen dynasty, watched her with a cold, calculating gaze. He had brokered a marriage for her to Khal Drogo, a fierce Dothraki warlord, in exchange for an army to reclaim the Iron Throne. "You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?" Viserys hissed, reminding her that she was little more than a tool for his ambitions. Daenerys's eyes filled with fear, but also something else, a flicker of resistance. Back at Winterfell, young Bran Stark loved nothing more than climbing the ancient walls, darting over rooftops with the skill of a squirrel. One fateful day, his curiosity led him to an open tower where he stumbled upon a scene that would change his life forever. Jaime and Cersei, locked in an intimate embrace. Panic flared in Cersei's eyes as she saw the boy, but Jaime's face hardened with ruthless determination. "The things I do for love," he whispered, before shoving Bran out of the window. As Bran plummeted toward the ground, a scream tore through the cold northern air, leaving the future of Winterfell, and the entire realm, forever altered. Darkness fell over the north, as if the land itself sensed the coming storm. Winter was indeed coming, and with it, a cascade of events that would shake the very foundations of Westeros.